Right now, as you're watching this, something huge is happening. AI is quietly evolving from a simple chatbot into a force that is going to completely reshape your career, your life, honestly, the whole economy. And look, this isn't just another tech trend. This is your survival guide for what's coming next.
So let's just start with one number that changes absolutely everything. 800 million. That's how many AI agents are being deployed right now by the big players. We're talking Microsoft, Google, Samsung. This isn't some future prediction, okay? This is happening today. It's a massive, immediate shift. And that brings us to the single most important question for your career in 2026. Are these agents going to be your new digital coworkers, helping you out? Or are they going to be your direct competition? Well, the answer to that really depends on what you decide to do next. So I want you to forget any idea that this is some distant sci-fi future. The AI tipping point isn't coming in 2030. It's already here, and it is moving way faster than most people can even comprehend. I mean, just look at what's happened this year alone. Back in January, a smaller company called DeepSeek launched a super powerful AI model using just a fraction of the resources the tech giants have. That shows you just how accessible this stuff is getting. Then, boom, Microsoft changes the entire conversation, calling them digital coworkers. That's a huge signal. And now Samsung is literally putting advanced AI into the pockets of almost a billion people. The pace is, well, it's relentless. So what can these agents actually do? We're not talking about simple party tricks here. This is real valuable work. They can run your email inbox for you, schedule all your meetings, act as a personal shopper, even write and fix computer code. They're even starting to predict diseases from sleep patterns. The days of AI being just an experiment, yeah, those are officially over. And all of this incredible speed, well, it creates a huge problem for every single professional out there. A massive skills gap is opening up right under our feet. You've got companies racing to adopt the tech on one side, and on the other, you've got most people who have no clue how to use it. And this right here, this is the core of that problem. MIT did some research and found that while 70% of companies have leaders pushing hard for AI, almost none of their employees have any training on how to actually use it. The technology is in the building, but the people are being left behind. And that brings us to the most important point in this whole conversation. Your real competition isn't some algorithm. No, it's the person sitting next to you who knows how to use that algorithm to make themselves 10 times more productive. That's who you're up against. So, the big question is, how do you become that person? Well, it's not about learning to code or becoming some data scientist. It's about having a new playbook. And it really just comes down to 3 strategic moves you need to start making today. Okay, first, you gotta stop trying to compete with AI and start collaborating with it. Second, you have to learn what is basically the new literacy for the modern world. And third, you need to position yourself in the one role that AI will never, ever be able to fill. Let's break that down. All right, move number 1 is all about becoming what some people are calling an amplified human. Think about it this way. A tiny team, maybe 3 people, can now have the impact of a 50-person company. How? By using AI to do all the heavy lifting with data, content, you name it. Your job isn't to do the task anymore, it's to direct the AI that does it for you. And that brings us to the new must-have skill, prompt engineering. It's just a fancy way of saying you know how to give good instructions to an AI. Look at the difference here. A lazy prompt like, write me a report, gets you useless garbage. But a specific prompt asking it to analyze data, find trends, and give you recommendations, that gives you a strategic weapon you can actually use. And this all leads to the most powerful strategy you have, leaning into the one thing that AI can never have, your human advantage. Because you know what? For all their power, these AI agents have some serious weaknesses. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Research from Carnegie Mellon is crystal clear on this. AI agents are nowhere near ready for big, high-stakes business decisions. They make stuff up, they get things wrong, they hallucinate, they absolutely need a human to keep an eye on them. And right there, that weakness is your single biggest opportunity. So the most valuable people in 2026, they're going to be the ones who can act as that human firewall. People who can check the AI's work, who can catch a mistake before it turns into a $1 million disaster. People who can make tough judgment calls and add that creative spark that AI just doesn't have. Your job shifts from being the worker to being the strategic leader. Okay, so we've covered the problem, we've covered the playbook. But here's the thing, just knowing this stuff isn't going to cut it. The next step is to go from passively watching this all happen to actively doing something about it.
Look, I work with people and companies on this every single day, and I can tell you the gap between those who get it and those who don't is getting wider every single week. So the real question is, what are you going to do right now to make sure you're on the right side of that gap?
Here's what I want you to do. Go to aiskillace.com. That's aiskillace.com. It's a place to start. On that site, I've laid out a complete roadmap. You'll discover the exact AI skills your industry is desperate for right now, how to turn your team from being scared of AI to being empowered by it, and the same framework I use to train Fortune 500 companies. It's all about how to position yourself as absolutely indispensable. You know, the people and the companies I'm working with right now, they aren't any smarter than you, they're not luckier. They just made one simple choice. They decided to act before the wave hit instead of after. 2026 is your year to become AI fluent. It's your year to lead, not follow, to thrive, not just survive. The AI revolution isn't on its way. It's here. And the winners are going to be the ones who choose to learn, to adapt, and to lead. Go to aiskillace.com. Let's get you right.